If you have even an ounce of frustration or chaos in your real estate business right now, I'm going to show you exactly how to correct that. Take control and the reins back from everyone else who's pulling them and seize the opportunities of this market. My name's Alisia Krastel, and on this channel, we share what everyone else gatekeeps in real estate to help you get simple strategies that are super powerful so you can accomplish your wildest dreams without sacrificing who you are or your personal life. If that sounds like the kind of success that you want, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the future videos. In this video, I'm going to show you how to hit the reset button to not only get your business either back to where you want it, but also to maximize the opportunities going forward. As a real estate agent for 17 years, I've had to hit this reset button a couple of times, and the more I learn to do this, the quicker I can reset and get myself on the path so I am crystal clear and getting exactly what I want out of the business and my life. I've also helped agent after agent do the same one-on-one and in the empowered agent community. In this video, I'm going to go through the 4 steps that get you on track that will leave the reins for your business in your hands to accomplish whatever you want. And we are going to talk about the NAR settlement and how you can use that to your advantage at the end. The very first thing is to ask yourself, what are you doing? As in, what exactly are you trying to accomplish here? Seems simple enough, but do you know how easy it is for an agent to get off track, to see all their other colleagues doing certain things and adding things, and you slowly just get off track of what you set to do? The easiest and most powerful thing to do is to pull out a blank piece of paper and you spend 10 minutes writing down, what do I want? And what does that look like in your real estate business? How many transactions do you want? Where is that business coming from? And it should be about 3 buckets, 2 to 4, but really 3 main buckets that your business is coming from. Is it coming from your sphere? Is it coming from social media? Is it coming from some sort of cold calling? Whatever you want it to be, it should be outlined. This is what you're working on. Here's where my business is coming from. And outside of that, I do nothing if it does not help pull those 3 things along. That means if you're on social media, you're being hyper purposeful on social media to make these things happen. If relationship based is part of you want to get 10 listings from your relationships, you want to get 25 listings from your relationships, what specifically are you doing every single day to make sure that you're getting clients from your sphere? Listings specifically. This is essentially a business plan, but you're just taking your brain back to what do you actually want? And are the things aligning up the way you wanted them to, or are you off kilter for a reason? If you want help with this, I have a business planning video that walks you through exactly how to do your business plan. Once you know what you want and what lead generation sources that you're going to get, and there's millions, right? I'll link some of the lead generation options underneath this video for you, but you can't go wrong with lead generation. You just have to find something that fits you. Once you have that, the biggest opportunity that people are missing, and it's pulling them away from their business, is a strategy to nurturing their relationships and deepening those relationships so you can get business from them. For me, that looks like a communication plan. It's on 1 page, and I just write down month to month what I'm doing. And I also write down who my people are. So I have a list of MVPs who pour the most into my business, and I have A's and B's who contribute to my business, who I love to be around. Those are the people that I'm going to look at every day. And a lot of times when people get off track, even just a little bit, or if they're not just like really going after all of the opportunities, it's because they lost track of who actually puts energy into their business. Because I can tell you from experience, the most powerful people who refer the most are usually kind of quiet, and you can forget about them and their needs if you're not proactive about it. With your relationships and being able to proactively communicate with them and nurture them and get leads from them, you're going to have better client retention, which 100% puts you back into a power position. You worked really hard to get these clients in the first place. That's how they ended up in your sphere, and you're nurturing them. It's so much easier to work with a client that you've had in the past, you have that relationship a second time, a third time, or with someone they know, than just some random person that you have not built that trust with. Keeps your costs down and allows you to really explode your business, because every person you know that's in your sphere knows 100 people. So why would you not leverage that relationship to get more clients who are amazing? Number 3 is setting expectations and making decisions about your business. Sometimes we get into a pattern of we make an appointment, we go, we write contracts, what's the next thing? Okay, we got to schedule that. We need to be thinking ahead of time. When would we like inspections? And I know if you're multiple offers and time constraints are a thing, like sometimes you just have to do it when you have to do it, but you can have a default. Like I do inspections on Thursdays, or I close on Wednesdays or Thursdays. Like have those set because it makes your life easier. Ask yourself, what do you want? out of these transactions, how would you like them to flow? When is your vacation? Like, we can be planning a vacation a couple months out. So if you have listings coming, don't list it while you're on vacation. List it a couple of weeks prior, list it a week after. In most cases, that is not going to affect a client whatsoever. And if it does, then you make arrangements to do it while you're on vacation. But we don't want everything to be, oh, whenever it pops up, let me just go run and do it. What hours are you going to work? I've made it publicly known that I don't always answer my phone, that I have it on silent a lot of times, and I have set the expectation with my clients that this is the case and this is why. So when I am with clients or I'm working on a contract, I can have full focus on that, but I check my messages regularly and my texts regularly. So there's not going to be a couple hour window where you can't get a hold of me. That's a decision that I've made, but I've also had to set up the expectations with my clients to let them know why it's happening, how it benefits them, and we're all on the same page. Because ultimately, your client just wants to know that you have their back, that you are on it and you have their back, and if you let them know, they're good with it. And they actually agree once you talk about it. If you want to answer your phone 24/7, that's fine. Just know you have some control. This also means setting expectations about the process of buying or selling, letting your clients know ahead of time what is happening and what the next step is. So if we're going to go to an inspection, I'm going to let them know, okay, we're going to do inspections. Here's our deadline date for repairs. This is when we're going to be getting the home inspection. This is how we're going to review it. And let's set up a time to review it. So it's not, oh, we got the inspection. Oh, let's review it now. It's all in a pace that you can control a little bit more than just willy-nilly doing it. Setting expectations also happens well before you even go see a house or you get the house on the market. I'm setting expectations. We are with buyers, for instance, we're looking at houses that have sold in the last couple months and saying, okay, this is kind of what we're looking at. Is this in line? Like, we're really doing some work beforehand, so we're not seeing a million houses. So we're really seeing exactly what they want for the most part. Sellers, the same thing, setting up the expectations that, for instance, on feedback, we're going to ask for feedback multiple times in multiple ways. But I'm going to let them know that not all agents give feedback, and we're in a pretty good position to know what's going on with the house from the number of showings and what's going on with the market. That the feedback is just great to have, but not necessary because we know what's going on. This way, they're not upset if they're not getting feedback from every house, and they're not calling me saying, what was the feedback? How did they like the house? What happened? They know exactly, oh, you said, yep, we got about half the agents left feedback. Right? It saves so much time and puts you back in the power position for everything, not just with them, but for being able to run the whole transaction and make it smoother for them. Can you see how we're pulling back the reins, right? People can only hold your reins and get you like a marionette if you give them the string to pull you around like a marionette. We are collecting them back and we're taking control of our real estate business. Are you seeing how you can pull back the strings and get control again? If you would like a little bit more control in your real estate business, type control in the comments below. Number 4 is about the NAR settlement and all of the things happening with agents having to prove their value. This should not be a huge hiccup for us. It is really a big opportunity, and that's the way I truly see it, for people to go back to branding your own business and knowing your own value and being able to talk about that. When you have your own branding and the people in your community trust you and know you, you don't have to fight rumors or news headlines. When you talk to them about it, they trust you and they understand where you're coming from. It's going to take a little bit of work if you haven't nailed that already, but to really take a step back and look at how you're really providing value is an enormous value to your business, even if the NAR settlement wasn't going on. That for people to just like know off the bat, like why to use you, that will help you get so many more listings. And I think it's forcing agents to do that. The other half of that is the buyer agency agreement, buyer broker agreement, which we've been using for a decade plus because in Maryland we've had to. When I tell you getting people to sign the agreement is all about how it's framed, 100% it is. I just went through what our agreement looks like in Maryland if you want to see it. I go through kind of step by step why it's a benefit to buyers and agents and how it protects each to go through and have that agreement. If you think about a contractor that you would use to build a deck, you are going to sign a contract that outlines the relationship. And I think that's where a lot of agents mess up is they're like, oh, I have to have you sign this. Like, it doesn't lock you into anything. Like, it seems scary. But when you really go through it with a buyer and let them know how this protects them, that whatever your exit clause is, like we have one where like, we're not trapping you. You can get out at any time. And then I laugh and say, it never has happened, but whatever. You'll be the first, but you don't have to pay anything if you don't buy a house with us, if you can cancel anytime, because I'm setting expectations and pulling in clients who are really good fits for us. But whatever your situation is, however your agreements are laid out, don't make it scary. Just explain the facts and how it benefits them. I mean, if you're getting your deck done, we could look at that as like, oh my gosh, you're telling us all these details and now we're locked into a contract. Well, I'm telling you what it's going to cost. What if I didn't have that and then 6 months down the road I tried to charge you more, or you didn't know what was happening? This outlines it all. When you can share what makes you a great agent and then you outline how you're going to work together, why would someone not want to work with you? It's going to work out the kinks and also put you in a better standing to have those reins and have control everything to make sure that it all goes smooth. No surprises, or as little surprises as possible. Now that you know how to get back control and have your eye on exactly what you want, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because we're going to deep dive into the lead generation strategies that I think are going to be most successful in 2024 and beyond. And a thumbs up never hurt anyone either.